Hiya, hiya, hiya. Did I fix it? I'm just posting it on Instagram now. I was smart and didn't post the first one because I was like, I fixed it? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll tell you, I feel like a freaking genius anytime I figure that stuff out. Just doing this. There we go. Okay. Phew. Is it always a fun time? How are you guys? Hello. Thanks for coming back. Sorry about that. Yep. Someone told me, I think it was Jen Stern's husband, he was like, you should do a video on how to do all this. And I was like, me? There's too many variables. I don't even know how I know some of these things anymore. So anyway, all it was that my receiver for my microphone, I usually have that plugged in all the time to a source to power it because it's wireless. Like I can have the receiver be wireless and my microphone be wireless. And since I leave my receiver on the computer, we're not like out in the field, right? I can have that just plugged in all the time, like you're charging it all the time. Well, I had it plugged into a different cord, and it was the cord. So, yeah, sorry, Amy. This is a second live stream, so it could have been that, Amy. Hello. I'm not good at it, Terry. I'm not really not. I mean, you know what I think it is like, you know how when you're learning how to sew and you start thinking, oh, I'm really good at this. And then like 5 years later, you're like, wow, I was not good at it. It's like that. It's like I now know, like I know a lot, but since that 5 years ago, but I know how much there is to know that I don't know. So that's what it is. So yeah, anyway, welcome, nice to see you all. I thought I'd streamed this before and I haven't, so this makes me feel better about one of my choices for menswear streaming or menswear sewing month, my own little challenge. And it's because I did the how-to video for these jeans, which are on the screen. This is a Wardrobe by Me pattern. I should talk to her about making some of her images have her business name on it. So anyway, sometimes, Jan, sometimes. Right, exactly, Tiffany. 5 years of learning. You learn exactly what you don't know. You know you don't know everything. You know enough to know to respect that others know a lot more than you. I've actually think about how many things sewing related that I do in a day that would be interesting to people. I'm not trying to brag. I am literally not trying to brag. I feel like every sewist encounters cool things every single day. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, you're always discovering something new. And I thought it would be such a fun series for me. Even if I didn't post them, I just recorded them myself. And today in sewing, I learned because some people, when they hear you say something like that, like if they know me a little bit, they think, oh, well, you're not very experienced if you're still learning things. And I know that I'm pretty good at what I do, but I also know that you can't know all of it, and you have to be humble enough to admit that, because otherwise, if you can't let the learning come in, it's not going to, and you're going to be stuck. And that's what I see so much with so much sewing content out there. They just think they know everything, and then they teach you something, and I'm like, yeah, but there's other ways to do that, you know? That's just the tip of the iceberg. So I thought it'd be like, recently I made the pajama tops, my like sleeveless pajama tops. Everybody in the guild knows this because we just had this really fun challenge called Stash Dash, and everyone was sewing their stash. And I ended up stress sewing all of June, and not all of June, but part of June. And I sewed a ton of my knit fabric, which has been weighing on me, and I sewed some pajama tops. Well, I sewed 2 or 3 pajama tops, just sleeveless, 2 sleeveless ones. And you know what I learned? And this, I'm going to say this and you're going to be like, well, of course. My previous sleeveless pajama tops, I had used knit binding around the armholes on the neckline. And this time I was like, I feel like that's a little overkill. Like, why do I need to do that? You know why you need to do that? So that your armholes don't drag so far down that you end up wearing your tank top sideways in the middle of the night. So anyway, that's the thing, Jan. If you don't, it's better to know how not to know how hard anything you're learning to do is. So, hi, Julie. I haven't even said hi to everybody because this is my second attempt at a live stream today. So anyway, that's the thing I've learned is that, oh, binding my tank top would help my, it's because it's just a rayon knit, which I prefer when I'm like for sleepwear. I think it's really comfy and cool. But yeah, and I wear it a few nights in a row, but the second night be a little more revealing. So that's what I've learned lately. I learn something every day though. I really do. I learn something every day, whether it's a fitting thing or a sewing thing or a drafting thing or just a light bulb moment. Or like the other day when you guys showed me a different way to end my cover stitch thread. I'd seen that way. I'd heard of that way. I didn't need that way. My way was working. It wasn't working with the woolly nylon thread. I don't sew a lot with woolly nylon thread. It's not my preferred way to do things, but I was doing it on all my knits. And I learned a new way and I like it better. I learned that. So anyway, all right, we're making jeans. And we're cutting them out today. And I have made these before for my husband, and they've really weathered well. Like, these look really good. He has 2 pet peeves. They're not iron, so the pockets are kind of, he has 3 things he doesn't like about these. I'm shoving the pockets in there. They're just I used the leftover linen. Sorry, the camera's like way over here, but I'm over here. And I'm not sure. I don't like my new shadows, and I apologize for them. Anyway, they're very broken in, yeah. It's a very lightweight denim. That's one of his complaints. He would like a heavier denim, and that's what I have. One of the funny things about this one, and this is something I recorded the how-to using this. This is the sample. So I sewed it exactly how, hopefully I sewed it exactly how the instructions were. I may not have if she didn't give me the full ones. But anyway, this is his other pet peeve, and I'm sure you guys have encountered this, and this is a really good example of something I did not great. So when you're looking at the fly, it looks pretty good, but do you see how it's doing that? You see this right here? And that's because when I sewed the waistband on, I didn't get this all the way in there high enough, right? So if you can see, if I pinch out, so this is one of his pet peeves, and you can see, let's look at it like this. See that? And you see also how now it's tilting over here. It's pushing like this, right? Because it's too long and it's looking for a place to go. And so the problem, and this is why I stress this anytime I'm sewing like waistbands on, I always say, check your center front. But when I'm recording, things are a little bit more harried. And I also don't talk in these videos. It is music overlay, and I don't edit them either. I just record it, give them all the content, and they do whatever they want. So anyway, you can see that right here, it's just too long. You can see there's like a little, like, can you see that little divot? See that darker spot right there? That's another indication. So I can fix these for him, and I will. They're really bad, see that? And all I need to do is, I need to pop out this stitching right here, and then just shove that up there. And if I just do this, like if I take out this little tiny bit, it'll correct this for the most part. It's a tiny amount, you know what I mean? It's a tiny amount. See that? So anyway, I just thought I'd share that. That is something that bugs him. And then the inseam length. I really did not nail the length of these. They are almost floods. So I'm pretty sure these are, yeah, they are. They are the pants that I had put rivets on. And I don't know what was up with that brand of rivet, and I do not know. Actually, this is the pair of pants that made me stop using rivets, because I really can't stand how with the things we buy as home sewers, a lot of things don't have brand names. So you do not know what you're buying. This fabric store may carry this brand of rivets, and this fabric store carry that brand of rivets. They look identical. They're both reputable clothing fabric stores, but one of them might have shite quality rivets and they don't know it. And that's what happened here. So like 2 or 3 of these rivets were just scratching the heck out of him. And so I pulled them off. So I put a little X there over the hole. It looks kind of cool. So it's an option. It's very subtle, but it's something I had to do to rescue these jeans after I gave them to him. So anyway, yeah. Wait, I have the light shine. What damages the machine? It's crazy. Jan, does it damage the machine? Oh, a sewing machine mechanic told me to throw away my woolly nylon. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's, whatever. I'm actually impressed with my sewing on these. Like, I actually thought these were his other pair, so the top stitching had come undone here, and I've done a better job on this in the past, but last night, because I knew it's so far down, I took some blue thread. So this was like a big loop of gold thread right here, and I just created the stitches really quickly. So that happens a lot on my hems. I'll have a big loop of thread. A lot of friction there. All right, well, let's get going. Let me tell you what I've done to this pattern so far and show you my fabrics. My fabrics, here we go, are a denim. I'm going to use some Wiggin for the interfacing and the Performex thread from Waywack for top stitching, which is a poly, cotton wrapped poly. Cotton wrapped poly. Is that what I want? I don't know if I want that. I kind of want poly. My problem with sometimes is these threads, they pick up the dye of the jeans and they get dingy looking, you know what I mean? So I got a brass zipper, and one of the biggest gifts I gave myself to jean sewing is buying the right length zipper. Hint, hint. This is an old fabric I'm going to use for the pockets. Just a poplin, Cloud 9. It's pretty cool. It was a very old fabric for me, but it's got spikes. He likes spikes. I'm going to do that. And that's my materials. Still thinking about the thread. Still thinking about the thread. I wish I knew which thread I used. I actually went and looked for the thread I used on these, because I'm like, this is what I want. This looks really good. It's not dyed. It still looks crisp. I used it top and, no, I didn't use it top and bottom. Oh, I did in some places. You can see it looks really good. Tension looks good. That's when I discovered I had not live streamed this because I couldn't find the videos. And in there is a little, the roll, it's Wiggin. It's a interfacing. Sorry, it's so bright. But can you see it's bias cut interfacing? It has not betrayed me yet, so that's why I'm using it. But I looked in the video, and it's a spool that looks like one of these, but it's top stitching thread. I don't have that spool anymore. I do have this, but this is pretty thick. So I might use 2 strands. Well, I don't have yellow. I could use 2 strands of this. What do we think of that? These aren't even the same brand. That could work. It looks kind of bright. You know, it's pretty different. Oh, can you see that? This one's darker. You know, it's like mustardy. This is more sunshine. Anyway, well, we have till tomorrow to think about that. All right, so let's put his jeans away or out of the way. One important thing I want to note about this particular pattern is all the seam allowances are 3/8 of an inch. And I'm gonna flat fell the inseam, the rise, the yoke. Those are the 3 seams I'm going to flat fell. So that means I needed to add some seam allowance because I like having more seam allowance than 3/8 for the flat fell. So I added 1/4 inch on the inseam here. The rise. I did add it here at the top for the yoke. So this is the back pattern piece. And then on my yoke piece, I did the same thing. Rise, yoke seam, and then on the side seam, I'm just gonna overlock it. So I'm only added an 1/8 of an inch. 3/8 is just, I don't know, it's just not, I would like a little bit more. I'd like to be able to trim. So I'm just gonna do a 1/2 inch on the side seam. There's a lot of 3 seam allowances, and I'm not a fan of that either, you guys, but this is just how it is. Because this is what I want. And I will instinctually use these seam allowances that I'm putting on here. This is the pocket facing, and here's the pocket. So I like to French seam the bottom. I also added a 1/4 inch here, and then I added an 1/8 on the side seams. And then here's the pocket facing, right? So, oh, that's funny. It goes like this. So, right. Well, like this, right? Okay, so it gets the same over here, and I need to trim 1/8 of an inch off of that because I originally just added 1/4 to all of these. So that was a good reminder that I had to rethunk it. So yeah, so that I'm leaving the 3/8 at the waist and the pocket opening. That's fine with me. I'm not touching the back pocket or the belt loops, the coin pocket, or the waistband. These are all fine. This is an interfacing piece, and I am going to interface the fillet, I'm going to interface the fillet, but I'm going to stop here. That's another thing I'm going to do. We trimming. I should have left it, but I'm doing that because I could see a lot of interfacing on the inside of his pants. So I'm just going to trim this off. I don't like that. Boom. So I just went from the notch straight down because basically this is what we want right here, right? Let's look at that. I think that's okay. I don't really like this weird, like it's sticking out down here. I think I might blunt it off right here. Something like this. Like that. Personal preference. Okay, the last thing I'm doing, and this might be okay if you bought the pattern now, because it was probably something I mentioned to her, but the fly extension was not like the right size when I got it. So I always do a sample of certain things on people's patterns that I want to make sure I can sew very effortlessly on camera. So this was my trial fly, which I left in here, thankfully, which reminded me, like, do you see how we can see a lot of the zipper down here? I don't personally like that, so she may have left it like this. I don't know. And full disclosure, this is a continuous zipper. It wouldn't look like that. That's just like zipper scrap. See, because I just turned it back at the top. Like it's not a brass zipper. It's cheap, okay? So, but you know, your zipper would still hang down here, but maybe the stop would be like right here, and you'd see your, I just don't personally like the way that looks. I like it to be completely covered. So I added a 1/4 inch to the depth of it, like the width of it. And that's why you see this big 1/2 inch gap down running the length of it here. And then I also added all of this at the top from here above because I want it to be longer. I would like this to sit lower. I'm sorry if this is really boring, but I'm just showing you the things I've done different. So if you sew these pants with, you get the same result as me and you're not upset. See how that's gonna cover that up now? That's what I'm going for. It could be even a little longer. No, it'll be fine because there's seam allowance right here. So, so yeah, that was these are my changes. I really love the color of whatever this is. What is this? What did I make out of this? Where did I get this? What is it? What color is that? It's really nice. It's like if dark gray and dark army green had a baby. So, okay. I think we're ready. Let's do it. and, that's how I say things in my head, by the way. And. It's so weird. I'm going to sew these in a different order than I usually do. Because usually I'm a big fan of sewing the back. And if you're new to sewing jeans, I highly recommend you sew the backs first. Get your sewing legs under you. Learn how your machine's going to handle the top stitching thread and your denim and the right needle. 100% sew the backs. Just skip to that part. You're not going to do anything wrong. Get your pants so that you have your backs, yokes, pockets, and then they're sewn together at the rise. I think that sets you up for sewing the harder bits on the front. So I'm going to do this in a different order because I feel like it's going to set us up better on Saturday time-wise. So I'm going to sew the fronts and the zipper fly and the pockets tomorrow, and then the backs and the waistband on Saturday. So that's my plan. Gunmetal, yeah. I have never seen a gun in my life, so I don't know. Did you not use that for the carbo? Did I not use which piece? We all know the cargo shorts live streams are a fiasco. Both of them. Both times I've tried to make good on those. That is my weird thing that I don't like sewing because I feel they're cursed for me. So, Michelle, I'm glad you like me. Oh, did you not use that for the, oh, you know what? You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. Yeah, it's funny because I know I've gotten a few of you. I've gotten my hands on some of you because of the cargo shorts. I don't know why you just didn't go running for the hills after those live streams, but thanks for staying because they were a fiasco. 100%. This is a cool fabric, isn't it? Oh no, I said Cloud 9. It's birch. Birch isn't around anymore, I don't think. It's a cute fabric though, right? Sorry it's so bright. You will not think it's so bright when we get that denim on the screen. Yeah, I wonder what color that is because if I look, because I most likely bought it from Hearts. You did. Did you do it because of me? I bet you did it because of me. I'm so sorry. I can't believe you're still here. Because yeah, even Shem was like, oh, I found your cargo short stream. And the knowing little look from him like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. That's when you really wish you could, like, when your live stream is done, like when my live stream is done today, it'd be really nice if I could pop my little head over the stream saying, go, oh, she's about to make a mistake right here, so just skip ahead. You know what I mean? Okay. So this is how your shorts, or your shorts, your pocket looks. This is how it looks on the inside. Let's get some context. I always like cutting so the right side of my fabric faces the inside of my pants, but you don't have to do that. Yep, you went along the fourth time I was shouting at you. Not in a friendly way, I bet. So here, this is what we're going to see on the inside of the pants, right? This is the pocket. So if you want a cute motif, you want to center it on this side of your pattern piece, just so you know. Like this bike, I'm going to center that bike like right there. I think that'll look cool. We could go a little bit over here too, get some of this stripe. Actually, because it'll do that. We'll do that. I am not worried about being wasteful on this fabric since I've had it forever. I feel like I should take those streams down. See, the thing is, Michelle, I think 2 years ago, I was like, it's time to right my wrong. I'm gonna make these shorts again live, and I'm going to break the curse. Oh no, that is not what happened. I don't think I made that same mistake, but it was not smooth. Who are we joking? All right, so we have one. We're gonna flip. We're gonna get the other one. Be nice if we could get the blue bike, you know? So this is what we have right now. This is one of his pockets. That's cute. What do we want the other one? Like if I just goes down? Oh yeah, look at that. Let's do that. We'll just go straight down. We could do the same exact thing. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. We could do this to try and get it somewhat symmetrical. It's not quite, but it's close. This is how I sometimes slip fabrics out when I'm pattern matching. Now I'm going to line this up on here, put my hand on this right here, lift it up, pull this out, and then we're in the right position. It's taken me 50 years to perfect that little move. So is anyone else menswear sewing this month? I still haven't shown Michael the underwear I made for him. I'm pretty sure he thinks that it took me 7 hours to make him 2 pairs of underwear because I gave him some navy blue ones that I had made just to use some fabric. He has no clue unless he's watched the live streams, which he's not telling me. And I don't think he's watching right now. He probably has meetings, but he hasn't let on that he saw the fabrics that I used. You just finished the barn jacket? What do you think, Terry? I was just thinking about our chore coat sewing. We're doing that like soon, right? We're doing that soon, right? This is how my fabric drawers work, like this size. They could be a little deeper, but that works pretty good. Okay, we got our pocket done. Oh, here's a washed. Oh no. Oh no. This is washed. Well, shoot dang. This is washed. This is not. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Wash your pocket fabric first. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, sorry. I just did a little hop and moved my mat under me. Yeah, Michelle, we really do need a new stream with no, maybe I should do an uploaded video so I can edit it for those. That actually wouldn't be such a bad idea, you know? Okay, I need to move some stuff out of the way here so I can fold this properly. It is folded properly, I just mean like lay it out here. We could use a bin. My bins are kind of scarce right now. I thought this was folded correctly. This isn't looking folded as nice as I thought it was. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. This is definitely heavier denim, that's for sure. I need to find a good lining for mine too. The sun loves it. Yay! Oh, this is not folded well. We will. Let's do our folding technique here. Sorry, my hair's on the microphone. So I always line up these selvages. And now I'm looking at the fold at the bottom. You see the diagonal fold there? I don't want that, so I'm gonna try and correct that. That looks better, I think. All right, and now we'll go down the length and fix the rest. The rest of the self is just together. It's just, it was a little off down there. It has been punted around the studio a bit. There it is. I just renamed all my tabs, my scenes, and I couldn't remember what I called this. All right, we got our pattern pieces. I'm just gonna lay the fabric out over here. Is that a flaw in the fabric? That might be. Oof. I hope we can make this look better on the sewing camera. Dang, I think I can get his pants across. That's nuts. That is nuts. Yep. Wow. I think I'm going to stick with my idea of doing some sort of like micro floral on the inside of mine. I think it would look really good with the dark green. I'm just getting this on green. We can slide this more this way. We need some more weights. Oop. And we could put our yoke maybe right here. Oh, which is cut on the length grain. I'm gonna. Do you guys cut your yokes on the length grain? I don't think I've thought about that. I always cut it so that it matches the lower pant, but I could be wrong about that. You know? I do not put one leg upside down because I do not want the fabric to look different from front to back. And sometimes I just think it's really hard to detect if the fabric will. Some fabrics it's very obvious. On twills, some twills though, they have like a sheen. And you know, most denim is a twill weave. So I'm just playing it safe. That's all. I can see, this is my grain line right here. It's like a, you can see it through the paper maybe. This is it right here. And I have transferred this grain line, so there are perforations, so I can see my grain line here. I have enough fabric to be particular about it, Michelle. I think that's a better way to say it. You know what I mean? Like, his will fit across, which is great. I need one more. Wait. Granted, my table is a little shy over here along the edge. It's like right there on the edge. I would zoom out, but you wouldn't see much more, I don't think. I could try. Yeah, you know. Oh, actually, thank you for saying that, Terry. That is one thing I did on these pants was I took them in at the hem quite a bit right here. So this is the side seam, and the side seam was straighter, and I took them in because when I sewed a fit muslin for Michael when I first made these, they were just too big around on the hem. So he likes them a little closer. So you're right. Oh, I like that, Terry. That's a good plan. All right. Oh, I was going to see what it looked like if I zoom out so you could see a little more. But I am pretty sure you're going to see... I just hate how it does this auto darkness thing every time I open the thing and I have to start. Oh, we could... Oh. We were really zoomed in. Okay. Sorry. Maybe we could do this. That didn't help much, but it's a little bit. There we go. That's better. Kind of, right? Can see a little more. Ooh, hi Nancy. Nello. It's been a while since I got a Nello from you. Red Japanese selvage denim sounds amazing. New blade. Woo woo. Can't go further past this point. You gotta be really careful there. There we go, okay. I don't like it when it feels like the fabric's a little fluffy. And then I feel like one layer will be a different size than the other. This is the risk we take when we cut out 2 layers at a time, right? All right, my table is a little shy right here. I did not notice my table was shy right here, so we're gonna start here. And I'll use my scissors. Are your sons not really that into it, or did you make them enough now that they don't really need any more? All right. I think that this is all done except for the hem. And the hem, you can see how these little X's. So I originally think I cut the pants right here, and that was just too short for him. So I might just leave the full hem length, and then we'll just hem them once they're done. Maybe even I'll wash them a few times I don't know about you guys, but I feel like things just keep shrinking sometimes. So, oh, we want to transfer our pocket. So let me get my Kira marker and my chalk. So let's put this here. That's my line right there. And then I don't think it transferred to the other side, so we need to do that. Yeah, I hear that, Nancy. Oh, I mean, it is good for other things, Terry, you know, that fabric, so that's good. I've kind of been into just using plain old Taylor's chalk lately. If I have a color that works, it works for me, you know? I probably need it for the coin pocket, right? That's the one thing that I usually don't get right on Michael's pants is that I always leave off the coin pocket. And he doesn't like that. He likes the coin pocket. And I didn't know that. This one only has them because I was following the directions. I don't like coin pockets on my own pants. So, oops. All right, that's our little pile there. We can get our yoke here still, I think. Let's just, can we even cut this off? All right. Pretty sure. I'm looking for this grain to be perpendicular to the fold here, or somewhat. Congratulations. They're fun to sew. I think they're really cute. I miss being in the creative, the creative time of my sewing. I'm not saying I'm not creative now or that I don't creative sew. I know I do, but there was a time where I would, you know, do the whole thing where you're challenging the norms and stuff, and I do miss doing a lot of that. All right, so we're gonna not double notch this because I'm flat felling it and I don't need to give myself the headache. But I'm only doing this because of poor Christy, who put her yoke in backwards. So she did it this way. She put the narrow end at the center back. Oh no, this discussion. I feel like that's Shem talking about that too. He is team belt loops and coin pocket as well. They are not real jeans. Yeah, I don't wear a belt, so adding the belt loops without a belt is just silly to me because my kitchen is pretty much out to get me. And the drawer handles are gonna grab the belt loops. This is not on grain at all. So if it's not on grain, let's just slide it closer. Jean purists. Jean snobs. I mean, yeah, purists. Yeah, I think of wearing belt loops and I just think about getting yoinked in my my own kitchen all the time. Why does that say 6 now? Okay, can you guys hear Loki snoring? He's snoring pretty darn good. Yeah, me too, Nancy. I think of her every time. I don't know what she's up to these days. I haven't seen her in a while. I think I saw her like somebody's post on Instagram, so I know she's still like looking at some sewing content, but I do think of her too. She was a good sport, but I think she completely finished those pants, top stitching and everything. So if she only knew what a blessing she was to all of us, that we all learned from that. That's so easy to do. I'm sure I've done it and then just caught it and redid it because it is easy to do. I like those priorities, Michelle. So basically you're doing the hammer. You could do a hammer loop, but it's not a hammer loop and it's not in the hammer loop spot. Don't you love how I'm just keeping this little pile of pattern pieces in my way the whole time? I bet you don't. Someone will say something about it. I push down right here because I want it to be really accurate. And you know, it is 2 layers of fabric and they're thick. And you can see it shift if you don't, so. Oh yeah, exactly. You can hear him, Julie. Yep. He's very, let's see if I can see him there. Yes, there is 2 dog beds side by side. Oops, got this weird now. I brought his office bed down from Paradise and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just plopped it there and he's been preferring it, so. All right, we want to notch where the zipper fly turns back, and then there's usually one right here that you will want. I kind of know this one, and if your pattern doesn't have this, so if you're doing jeans and it doesn't have the built-on fly, this is my preferred way. I like it when it's built on because the zipper then doesn't sit right towards the edge of this whole thing. But this right here, this little circle, where that's located is if you were to draw your seam line in here up to this notch that's up here at the waist, if you were to draw in that seam line, and then you will put the end of where you want the zipper to be, which is usually going to be like 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4 of an inch above the end of this right here. Sometimes they put it like right above it. But that's just where you want your basting stitch to end. That's all. So, in case you're trying to locate that, if yours doesn't have it, she actually has this drawn in, which is kind of helpful visually. But that's basically your center front, right? And if you continue this down, it's going to line up with the seam line here. So, I think learning why things are there, it just helps because everybody does it slightly differently, and some things they shouldn't. They should just be the same because you can't argue with center front or center back, you know? Like those are non-negotiable. Okay, can we use this for anything? Maybe a little, no, this is interfacing, so no. Okay. Message received. Okay, we still have the waistband, and that's something I like to try and get in early because I like it on the length grain. I have a lot of denim here, so I think I must have gotten enough for 2 pairs. This was meant for me, not him. Ugh. It's very, very wide. This is the Wardrobe by Me men's jeans. I was putting a link in the description, but then that's when I discovered my audio was scuffed. So I stopped and was fixing that. I was going to put it in the description, like I found it. I actually do have it pulled up though. If you would like a link to it, I can put it right in the chat. And then I heard one of you going, why didn't you make that your affiliate link, Saremy? And then I was like, I don't know where that's at. But so I was hunting for that, and when the audio was more important. So there you go. That's the direct link to it on her site. Hey, Barbara. Nobody got a hi today. This is my second attempt at the live stream. I am just flattening out my fabric so nothing's pulling or anything. I've lost my reference points for my grain line, but I can, like my selvage is over there. You can see right here. It's lined up on the grid, coincidentally. So I can use this in relation to the grid, which is kind of helpful. Sometimes the grid's useful. Go figure. And then below here, down here, we can do all this hoo-ha. We can put the pockets. We only need one of these. We do need two of these. It's kind of a poor use of fabric. Maybe we could get this in here. We only need one of these as well, but that we can get in there as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. I only need one of these too. Okay. Just a second here. Let's cut this piece out. And let's also mark it on grain first. There's something in the way of the grid right there. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna give myself a little guide here. Ooh. Okay, we've got that, and that will go on that guy. And now we have a lot more real estate here. Maybe we can get all of this down the center thing. It'd be nice to save as much of that as possible for another pair of jeans. I just saw that go, and I was like, oh, that's the bias. But I still got a little nervous that this was stretch denim all of a sudden. That wouldn't be good. I'm lining up my selvage to the grain again. Or the grid, sorry, not grain, but the grid. Let's see if I can get two of these. You can get up there. And maybe we can get our other one there. Some of these things, I know the grain line is probably not you don't have to be so anal about, but on some fabrics, I do think it makes a big difference as far as the just the texture of the fabric. It might look off grain sometimes. Like when it goes from the main body of the pant onto your pocket facings is a really good example. Like say you're doing stripes, if you have striped pants. Okay, this is our pocket facing, and then we just need the coin pocket. I wonder if he would use this better with his left hand than his right hand. You like the sound of that? Yeah, the denim is pretty chunky. This is a cute little coin pocket. Like it's its own little thing. You know, as opposed to the ones that like are built into the facing. This is pretty cute. Boop. I can actually see the grain line on this fabric. I don't know why I'm being so crazy about it. Okay. We'll do the hem. We can put this with our bolsa. There we go. All right. Get into the nitty gritty. No, he does not. He definitely doesn't want a pair of stretch baggy jeans. And that's what would happen with this. So I'm a fan of your waistband being on the length grain, but I think this is probably one of the more personal choices, and I don't think you realize you have a preference until like you experience it a different way. But this is one for me. I really like it on the length grain because I like, and maybe Michael doesn't agree with me, I don't know, he might not know. I don't like the waistband being able to stretch at all. And the least amount of stretch is going to be on the length grain of the fabric. If you like a little bit of give, you can do it on the cross grain. If the fabric's wide enough or you have seams in your waistband, that's great. If this was my waistband, it would be curved too. A curved waistband that doesn't stretch is kind of tricky to manage because of the curve, but you can try. I think side seams on a curved waistband help. It also helps fabric usage because they can be kind of fabric hog heavy, you know? Belt loops. I always call these carriers. I don't think anybody calls them carriers, which is kind of funny because like nobody calls them carriers. So I don't know why I call them that. I'm finally breaking myself of that habit. Okay. All right, so we need our notches. I have a few camp shirts to sew, and I know that I've sewn that a few times on my channel. But, you know, I do the Men's Wear Sewing Month because it is birthday sewing for 3 of the guys in my life. I got a lot of guys in my life. And I have 4 camp shirts to sew this month. So I might do some surprise live streams at weird times, just chipping away at sewing those. Just to hang out and sew with you guys if you want. So you might see those and go, how did I not know about this? And that's why. I just thought of it today when I looked down under there and I was like, I got some sewing to do, and I have a couple of things I need to work on. So, all right, we need 2 of these and 1 of this. This is interfacing. So, what's the best use of this fabric, right? It's weird. I don't know, Terry. I think that you guys underestimate that while I do everything on camera, I do a lot of prep off camera. I think that because I'm guilty of all the things of cutting corners or procrastinating, like all those that genre of stuff, I am definitely in the camp of, oh, that'll be quick, or oh, I can just grab that really quick. With the live stream, I can't do that. It really forces me to be honest, and it's my, are you ready to walk out the door policy. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this policy. This is something we instituted with a child. Are you ready to go? Yes, Mama, I'm ready to go. You ready to go? You sure you're ready to go? Yes, Mama, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to walk out the door right this second? No? Then you're not ready to go. That is my ready to go policy. So what is that notch for? What is that notch for? Oh, because it's asymmetrical. Okay. So, you know, are your shoes and socks on? Did you go to the bathroom? Did you grab your coat? You know, and that's how I am with live streaming. I make sure I have as much as possible because I have definitely watched my fair share of live streams where they were not ready, and it annoys me. I'm not there to watch them gather supplies. I'm there to watch them do the thing I wanted to see. And I don't think all of you feel that way, but I feel that way. Oh, you call them carriers too. Maybe it's an East Coast thing and I had an East Coast teacher. That might be it. So anyway, there's definitely times where you see me forget something, and it's really annoying to me that happens because it may not be easy to attain, you know. The number one thing I forget with pants sewing is the pocket fabric. So this time I looked for it first because I'm so used to forgetting it, and we're all like, oh, yeah, what are you going to do for that? And I don't like the afterthought of that. And it was still an afterthought, I will admit, because I thought I'd have enough of one of the fabrics I got for him for his birthday. So, you know. All right. This, we're gonna interface this, the waistband, and you know what? Do I interface these? Because while this denim here is really lightweight, don't say that, Jan. I know the month is half over. So one of my pet peeves with jeans is this. See this mess right here? See how messy that is? You saw me poke those in. He's not ironing his jeans. So one of my pet peeves is this right here being weak and it looking wrinkled when I'm wearing things. So I like to interface this piece. Is that overkill on these maybe? Because this is a heavier denim, much heavier. I think that's overkill. Yeah. I think that's overkill. All right, let's set the, we're gonna cut that and interfacing though. And you. That's all I need, right? So let's move the fabric out of the way. Out the door policy. Yep, out the door. Are you ready to walk out the door? So I ask myself that now when I'm packing for a trip, because I want to avoid deciding on things, and I'll tell myself, you're like all done with packing. You just have to throw a few things in there. You know, so that is my own little policy to myself now too. Like, are you really ready to go on this trip? Like if the flight got bumped up 4 hours, which happened to us on our way to Australia, that is not a trip you want your flight to change on, because we were supposed to be driving to Sacramento and we had to drive to Oakland, which is 4 hours away, and they bumped our flight up 4 hours. So that was one of the most stressful drives of my life. We made it. So yeah, you know, are you ready to walk out the door? Yep, exactly. There are those conversations too, Jan. Well, I mean, I only do that with, it had to do with my, you know, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever, you know. But if anyone's asking someone that now, it should be my husband asking me that. Are you ready to walk out the door? Because my sense of time is woefully bad sometimes. He's a very patient person. Oh, how does a 7:45, or not 7:45, how does a 6:45 dinner sound to you? That's the hint of, hey, you were supposed to be off work at 6 and you're not home yet. Is it okay if we eat soon? I'm hungry. He's already making dinner. He's super polite and he's like, how does that, yeah, that sounds great. And then the dinner in 15, dinner time. I am definitely the one that is the problem. Rake his clothes off. Okay. This is my fly facing that I cut, right? Yeah, I did. Here we go. Okay, let's put this here. So we need to fuse that. We need to fuse you. And we need to fuse, where's the fronts? Here they are. These, and I would like to see, where did those go? Did I just throw those away? You saw me cut those. Here. Let's see how these fit now. Yeah, that'll do. I like it on the inside. Here's the seam line right here. I like it on there, because then I know it'll be it'll be covered. You know what I mean? Like, it won't show on the inside of the pants. Oh, that is definitely a thing. I have seen that with kids too, Tiffany. Okay, so here's our fronts, and let's put all of our front stuff together. Waistband goes on the bottom, so belt loops do too. This is the back, so we have the, I'm layering my things the way in order which I'll sew them. So here's my backs, back pockets, yokes. These are together, one thing. This is last, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of ironing. So we need to iron these things here. So We'll put those on top and then they can go together. And now we just need our waistband interfacing. That's it. Excuse to be naked. This Wiggin, they could make this much wider. I'd be very happy. I don't think you're supposed to use it for all the things I'm using it for, but I love it, and it hasn't betrayed me yet with the cellulite look that we've been experiencing with interfacing. So I know that this isn't the same width, but that's okay. I'm going to line it up along the center like this. And we'll just let some of the seam allowance not be interfaced, and that's fine with me. Okay, so this, actually let's just lay it out. Now, so that when I take it over there on that smaller table, it'll be easier to fuse. And I'll fuse this by tomorrow. Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to making these. I'm really happy that Michael's been wearing, I didn't know he was wearing these jeans. I don't think he wears the ones by Thread Theory that I made. They're just a little too baggy in the butt. That should have been probably the pair that I used. Now that I think about it, I forgot about those. I actually forgot about those. That's probably what I should have used in my recent video on fixing a flat seat or a full seat. Oh well. Because I thought these were those and they had an issue, and he was like, no, I'm fine with these. I was like, oh. Okay, so these need to be ironed, but then this will go on the bottom of my sewing pile since it'll happen last. But we'll iron it first. I think we're ready. Yeah, hour and a half to cut. That seems fair, even though I had to start the stream twice. Ooh, don't break the chalk, even though you have 1,000 of them. We're gonna put all our pattern pieces away because we have a postage stamp space sometimes. Let me show you some of my camp fabrics that I have to make. If you're watching, Michael, you should look away right now. Okay, this one I got from my dad. These two I got from my brother. This one has a little texture on it. I don't know, what do you think? Which side would you... I think he would like this side. These are my brother's. This is just like a chambray, dark chambray. And then I have, I have actually this one too. Like this one might not work on camera. It's got a tiny, this is a nice fabric actually. And then this one, Michael knows about this fabric actually. He's like, I'll wear it at shows. He works for a company that does a lot of stuff for campers. And this is a stash fabric, and I've been furiously trying to sew everything in my stash, which is actually, I'm realizing, not a great plan. Oh no. There's a lot of poop talk in my chat today. This I think I got from the ASG sale. And it's really nice, really nice fabric. Yeah, see, it's doing the moire effect on the camera, so I can't use it on camera. But I like this. This could also be for my, I don't know if my brother would like that. My dad might like this. Yeah, the Wiggin is great. I got it from Waywack. It's a big roll. I love it. I use it for everything. I piece it together. If you need a curve, this is what I do. Well, the Wiggin you can actually force into a curve with ironing because it's on the bias. You see how it's on the bias? Can you even see that? Trying to put it over a dark. See, it's on the bias. You can iron it. But if you have something really curved, like a curved waistband, then I do this. And you don't even have to do it that severe. And then I just overlap it like that. The grayish fabric looks orange and blue. What? Yeah, exactly, Terry. It is really great. You know what I think is funny about Wiggin is how every time I write it, it capitalizes the W. Between the camp and green plaid. This is orange and blue for you. No. It is... Well, I was going to say brown and cream, but when I look at the fibers on the edge here, like these right here, what it's been woven with, this looks orange and blue to you. Interesting. Does it when I pick it up? Oh, that's the moire. You're seeing the moire. And if you're on a smaller screen, it's going to really show up. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. 100% why I can't sew it on camera. It'll be just so annoying to watch. But maybe I will make these for this month. Maybe not this one, it's kind of dark. But I was thinking if I batch sew. If I batch sew though, these two could have the same thread and these two could have the same thread. That would work for me. Yeah, it's just this moire effect that the cameras, it can't differentiate between the plaid. See how when I move it away, it's a tiny little plaid. Check, sorry. Yeah, right, Amy? That's cute. I got this from Bolt Fabric. Wait. Right? I'm not sure. He works for a backpack company. Really big backpack company, so. I think Wiggin is the name of a TV show. Really? I spell it, oh wait, how is it supposed to be spelled, Terry? Because I spell it W-I-G-A-N, and maybe it is I-N, and Wiggin with an A-N is like something. I don't know. Anyway, this is my plan. The other things that I've made for Michael, let me show you. Now you can't look, Michael, if you're watching. Go away. I basically am making him a capsule wardrobe this month. So I made him this camp shirt. Sorry, it's so bright. Little collared camp shirt. And then I've made him four more pairs. I've made him 7 pairs of underwear, but these are the 4 that I made for him for his birthday. So fries, these are campers, soccer, and then the fish are really pretty. So he hasn't seen these 4 fabrics here. I'm kind of excited about that. And then I made him like 2 pairs of navy blue and a pair of charcoal that I just gave him. That's what I thought. I thought it was a town in the UK, but I just assumed then this was from there or something. So this is his birthday, and the jeans, and this capsule wardrobe. So yeah, pretty happy with that. He never buys himself clothes. Oh, there's a football team too. Oh, Michelle's in the UK. All right, well, tomorrow we sew. I'm going to be starting with the fronts. I'm going to do the pockets and the zipper fly. It's not that far from you. Oh, that's funny. And then Saturday we will do the backs, the waistband and the belt loops and finish them up. That's actually a lot. Maybe, because that means the, we might do a little more than the fronts tomorrow. That's actually kind of quick. So maybe we could do the fronts and the backs tomorrow. Maybe. And then we will be left with assembling the pants, which is the inseam, side seams, and waistband and belt loops. That seems fair. It might not be 50-50, you know? Yeah, so anywho, I think I need to fit that pattern to him though too. All right, well, thanks for coming along. Sorry about the weird start. At least I figured out what that was, and I won't remember it the next time, but hopefully I'll figure it out again. And I'll see you tomorrow. Nice seeing y'all. Bye.